I'm just gonna read through a couple of things, go over like what the day is gonna look like for the most part, because obviously we know it's gonna look different from previous summer camps. So I'm just gonna run through like a bullet list of things to kind of expect. And Joe and Jazz, you guys know, jump in if you want to add anything or if you need to correct me on something. And I know also most of you have been in daily contact with Jasmine. She has sent you out our COVID guidelines and also a waiver that you need to sign. So if you could sign that and send that back to her as soon as possible, that would be helpful. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'll read through just like a bullet list of things that covers what a day is gonna look like at camp this year, and then I'll let Jasmine and Joe add anything, and then I'll open it up to you guys for questions, which I may or may not have the answer to, but we are making a list of your questions so that we can get that back to you whenever we figure it all out, which we're getting there. But thank you in advance for being patient with us. Okay, so I'm gonna get it started. I think one of the most important things is just to have once we go through everything, that you have a clear understanding of what camp is gonna look like. And it's really, really important that you kind of stress that to your kids, that it's gonna look different from camps before, and it's gonna be a little bit different, and stress the importance of social distancing to them. I think if it comes, we're gonna be saying it to them 100 times a day, every day, but if you say it to them at home and kind of reiterate the same things that we're saying, it will be more effective if it's coming from all ends here. No one will be allowed in the building except for staff and the campers. We have done a drop-off video that should be on our YouTube page either by the end of today or tomorrow. That it's a demonstration of how drop-off should look like in the morning. There will be one or two staff outside for each age group for a staggered drop-off, and the staff will ask the parent and the camper a couple of questions before they'll be allowed to enter the building. Things that the camper will need first thing in the morning when they arrive: lunch, snacks, water, their water bottle, sunscreen, swimsuit, change of clothes, and no other personal belongings. Lunch, so this is pretty different this year too. We're asking if you don't do any family style lunches. I know previous years, parents have brought like pizzas for kids or their kids and cousins and friends, but we're not doing any of that this year. We're not allowing any of that. We're also not going to have our snack shack open, and we're not going to be heating any lunches. So however their lunch comes is however they're going to have to eat it. No, we won't be using their microwave. So the parent and the camper must have their mask in the morning at drop-off in order to be allowed in. And no field trips, possibly phase 3 or 4, but as of right now, we're staying on campus the whole day, and it will be a mostly outdoor camp. So please make sure to remind and reiterate that to your child that we're gonna be outside most of the day. We will have 5 zones sectioned off outside, designated zones, so they'll kind of know their zone for the day. But we'll have tents in each zone and like 2 water stations. So they will be able to go inside and cool off if they need to, but very limited indoor use. Let's see. Like I said, we'll do a staggered drop off and a staggered pickup. And we have that broken down into age groups and which door they will enter and which door they will leave. I'll type that out. I have a list of things for Jasmine to send out to you guys, but we'll send that out as part of it, which age group and which door your child will be using. And then rainy days and heat waves. We'll be checking the weather each day, the night before and throughout the day. If we know the night before that it's going to be a complete wash or just going to be a heat wave the whole day, we're likely going to cancel camp the evening before. Or if we start a day of camp and it just is raining unexpectedly and we're checking the radar, we're probably going to cancel it. If it looks like it's going to be a wash, we'll be calling the parents and expecting you guys to come pick them up. If it's just going to be an hour of rain and it looks like it's going to pass through, then we'll move forward with the day.
Before you get too far, Molly, if you have children in different age groups, say you got one that's 5 and one that's 12, you can drop them off at the same time.
Yes. Also, there will be for the most part, in the same group with the same staff for the duration of the 8 weeks. They'll be with the same core of other campers and staff members for the duration of 8 weeks. And when they come in, it won't be checking in and signing up for activities for the day. They will be their schedule's going to kind of be made. That's what I have on my sheet. I know, Joe, you added some things earlier, and Jazz, feel free to chime in.
So one thing for the 7 and up group, the kids are going to be using the locker room, so they will be designated a locker number. Fernando will have that out to you guys. I think he said by the end of the week. So when your child comes and signs in, they go to a locker room. They know their locker number. That'll be the locker that they use for the 8 weeks. Please make sure to sign up for the Remind app. So in case we have inclement weather, we can send out the text message. That way we don't have to make 80 calls for the day. We'll still make the phone calls, but if you have the Remind app, then it's an easier way to get the information out.
And then also I see the question about for 5 and 6-year-olds bringing lunch. The same question was asked earlier, and I would just say yes, or make sure you pack them a lunchbox full that's with snacks that's going to get them through the day, enough food to get them through the day. They will definitely be getting more breaks, like more frequent, like snack breaks and water breaks. Everybody will this year because we'll be mostly outdoors, but I would say for the 5 and 6-year-olds, I would pack them enough that, will last them through the day. 6-year-olds will have a designated spot for their personal belongings. Yes, they will. I think it's going to be the cubby area upstairs in the front. But in the canteen, there's a cubby area, and that's where 5 and 6-year-olds will keep their things. So as far as a child coming and going on their own, they need to be dropped off by a parent, because I think our requirements are to ask the parent and the member questions in the morning. Jazz, Joe, do you have a confirmed answer for that? I'm pretty sure.
For the drop-off?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have to ask the parents questions regarding the past 24 hours. So at drop-off, we need the parent there. As far as going home, I was under the impression that they can bike home by themselves.
And we'll just need parents to sign a waiver, which we'll have on the first day of camp, that says my child can bike or walk home by himself without calling a parent first.
For sunscreen, if you provide your own, because we don't know which kids have allergies to them, because certain kids have allergies to certain products. But with the sunscreen, we're gonna, during our daily breaks, make sure that they reapply sunscreen, because it's just one of those things where you're gonna be, like I said, 80%, or like Molly said, 80% of the camp is gonna be outside. So the application of sunscreen is going to be key. Again, the tents are going to be used a lot because, again, like today and yesterday has been pretty warm outside. So try to get them some shade for maybe at least 10, 15 minutes per hour. That way that we try to prevent the sunburn.
And Christina, I see, how big are the groups? So the groups will be no bigger than 10 campers with 2 staff. So there will be no more than 10 campers in a group. Yes.
Oh, sorry, if I can just jump in.
Sure.
I just want to address, this is Dylan, your question about the personal belongings. 'Cause I just want to clear it up. The personal belongings can't stay overnight at the club. They'll have spots. They'll have a spot, and I'm gonna assign the spots, but they can't stay overnight at the club. If that's clear.
They're also going to have, each member will have their own bag that we've kind of made with art kits, a Lego kit. Well, they'll be given a t-shirt when they come, but those bags that we've made will stay at the club, so that's their own art supplies that they can use each day without having to all be touching the same things. Some activities that we're doing are, we'll be doing arts and crafts, because we've made, these little art kits, which is nice. BGCA has put out a lot of social distancing activities that they can play outside. There's quite a big list, and we've been using that and asking our staff to familiarize themselves with them. And then games that we already know, we're improvising, and we're going to have a whole training day on how to play these games while being socially distanced. So we're working on that, but we'll still be doing arts and crafts and just playing games outside the best we can, while also keeping them spread out, We have 2 families coming from off island, and I know that Jasmine has been talking to them, and I think they're quarantining, right, Jazz?
Yep. There's only 2 families coming from outside Massachusetts, and they'll have quarantined for 14 days before their child's first day of camp. So I hope that makes everyone feel better.
And there are sanitation stations outside too, right, Joe?
Yeah, there's 2. There's one by the windows for the teen room, and then there's another one over on the side field by the garage.
Thank you guys for coming and for your time. And again, for hanging in there with us. We're really excited to see the kids. Really, really excited.